Livingston, don't mind Livingston. I hear la la la. I hear la la la. Don't mind Livingston. Don't mind.
Hello, my name is Melissa Bethel. And my name is Alexis. And here we are at the historical site of Fort Charlotte for our Multimedia Digital Learning class. It's the last assignment of the year, November 2018. Fort Charlotte was built in 1788 by Lord Dugmore. It was named after the wife of King George III, Queen Sahara Charlotte. The fort has a moat, dungeons, underground passageways, and 42 cannons which has never been fired in any act of aggression. Though the official creation date of Fort Charlotte is 1788, there are discrepancies due to the fact that it is made of two smaller forts, Fort Stanley and Fort D'Arcy. The official creation date is listed as 1789.
While exploring Fort Charlotte, we discovered that the barracks built just to the east of the fort were controversial. While some people praised their site, others feared it actually impeded the fort's defensive fire. Perhaps the harshest criticism was that due to their location above a swamp, these fatal barracks were responsible for the high mortality rate. Today we recognize the soldiers' heavy uniforms, their excessive drinking, and the poor quality of their food as health risks. However, condemnation of the barracks was so great that the building was destroyed in 1834. Now, you might be wondering what you might have seen in these rooms some 200 years ago. There were caves of gunpowder, perhaps 1,000 barrels stacked upon wooden racks, cannonballs, cartridges, mortar shells, maybe swords for the officers, or even a few unused pikes, and muskets plus the deadly bayonets still fixed to their muzzles. It was these weapons, triangular blades, 15 to 30 inches long, mounted on guns to intimidate and kill enemy forces, that largely defined Britain's infantry tactics at the time of Fort Charlotte's construction. Not only was this fort used to defend against pirates or any other threats that were trying to enter our shores, but it also contained many cages which were used to hold captives, and once they were locked in there was no way of trying to escape. While we were walking toward the fort, we also noticed that there were as many signs giving us information as there were cannons, and there were a lot of cannons. For example, did you know that back then they had to heat a cannonball until it glowed red, and then just say a prayer that the ball didn't expand so much that it would jam the cannon's nozzle. Then you had to load the cannon into it with wet wadding, which sealed off the powder. And then you had to fire the gun before the ball burns through wadding or cools too much to explode. So special tongs and carriers helped transport the heated ball, while a careful crew and a handy bucket of water helped you try again and again.
Fort Charlotte is situated where it is because in times of peril it was imperative to have the high ground, especially for the primary fort of Nassau. Colonies and territories in the Western Hemisphere promised riches and power, and as such they need to be protected, with fortresses like Fort Charlotte, Fort Montague, and Fort Fincastle. Fort Charlotte, though a relic in times of peace, was very important in times of war. It served as a deterrent to attack and was central in defending the Bahamas. It also was a military storehouse where many active military lived.
Here we can see that they remodeled the lower level of the fort to accommodate bathrooms for guests. It has modern-day plumbing and commodities, but also keeps some of its older structure with stone walls instead of being completely changed in favor of tiled or, say, a completely renovated space.
On the fort are blurbs of information on various pirates, governors, and settlers in the Bahamas. Some of the notable figures are Christopher Columbus, Woodes Rogers, Captain Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard, John Murray, Andre DeVaux Jr., John Juan, and Commodore S. Hopkins.
Tell 'em come quick. I could feel my temperature rising. Never would make a scream like this. Lord, all over my body, from my head straight down to my feet. Ancient beat this pint on the good drum and the soul of the rig so sweet. Oh, by later that evening, all I drink had me feeling fine. And when I reached the rig and scream fest, but Lord, I wanted to prance. Oh, the music was jamming, Lord, it put me into a trance. And everybody was looking at me as I made up my own new dance. Oh, call the fire engine.
A bit of interesting information we found was that Great Britain's white soldiers initially manned the fort. However, as disease took its heavy toll and spread more quickly, more and more black soldiers were stationed here in hopes that they would be less susceptible to the dreaded tropical fevers. However, we all know that back then they had less regard for the lives of black soldiers than they did for the lives of white soldiers.
Don't let it bite you. If it bite you, I can bite too. Oh, call the fire engine. Run, tell 'em come quick. I could feel my temperature rising. Never would make a trip like this. Lord, all over my body, from my head straight down to my feet. Ancient beat this pint on the good drum and the soul of the rig so sweet.
You may be wondering what the purpose of these holes dug into the underground was. Well, there are no records to tell us who carved these holes or why. However, because these rooms were used to store hundreds of powder kegs, we believe the holes supported large wooden racks that held the barrels, or so say the historians. This theory is strengthened by the fact that other historic British sites include such installations.
Is the sweetest music that you hear in the Bahamas land. Oh, call the fire engine. Run, tell 'em come quick. I can feel my temperature rising. Never would make a trip like this. Lord, all over my body, from my head straight down to my feet. Ancient beat this pint on the good drum and the soul of the beat so sweet. Oh, call the fire engine. Run, tell 'em come quick. I could feel my temperature rising. Never would make a trip like this. Lord,
A bit of interesting information we found was that Great Britain's white soldiers initially manned the fort. However, as disease took its heavy toll and spread more quickly, more and more black soldiers were stationed here in hopes that they would be less susceptible to the dreaded tropical fevers. However, we all know that back then they had less regard for the lives of black soldiers than they did for the lives of white soldiers.
I can feel my temperature rising. Never would make a trip like this. Lord, all over my body, from my head straight down to my feet. Ancient beat this pint on the good drum and the soul of the rig so sweet. Oh, I went to Cat Island to the musical festival. I was always into reggae and rap, never check for the rig and scream. Lord, I stay with my family up the road there in Town, and everywhere I went, all the people were talking about the battle of the band.
Now, onto the graffiti. I'm sure we're all wondering who carved these names on the walls. The truth is, no one knows for sure. All that is known for certain is that it had to be the countless majority who lived here and were making a mark in either fear or boredom.
We are Melissa Bethel and Alexis from the University of the Bahamas, recording from Nassau, Providence in the Bahamas, about Fort Charlotte. Fort Charlotte, the biggest fort in the Bahamas, is massive and contains many historical information, and I would recommend every Bahamian and visitor come visit it. Now, we would like to thank Devon O'Dean and Mark Burrows for helping us film this amazing site. Thank you for watching and have a great day.